I attended junior high in this building from the fall of 1969 until the spring of 1971.
My first time at the community center was when I was 7 years old and I was asked to play Minnie Mae and Anna Green Gables.
This building is where I spent my 7th and 8th grade year.
All the schools, the community and Pella Christian would all get together and watch movies in this building.
Well, I'm Patty Vanzani. I am the president of the Friends of the Pella Community Center.
And I'm Marvin Vanzani, Patty's husband, and I'm the treasurer of the Friends of the Pella Community Center.
Hi, I'm Deb Lynn, and I have lived in Pella all my life. I went to 7th and 8th grade here at the community center.
My name is Ron Subert. I taught at the middle school beginning in 1970.
I'm Dorothy Vanderleest, and I was in the middle school, the old building, just 1 year, and that was the last year that we had school there. That was just before we moved to the new middle school.
I'm Shirley Troe. I taught at the middle school when it was at the community center.
Well, I'm Dodie Boat, and I did graduate in '51. And the room we're in now was our study hall, and the south portion of it was the library. And we had big long tables in here, no assigned seating.
Hi, I'm Carol Mapes, and when I started out at the middle school, I was Carol Franken, and I was a student teacher at the middle school in 1968.
Hi, my name is Terry Frank. I was Terry Toom back in my younger days. I was in this building starting in 1969 and 70.
I'm Margene Van Horn. I was hired at Pella Schools to teach 7 through 12 physical education.
My teacher was Mrs. Greenewald, and I think she only taught here 1, maybe 2 years, but it was her first year here when she taught us.
One of the memories that anybody that attended junior high here at that time has is walking down the alley 2 blocks to Webster School for hot lunches. This building was built before the hot lunch program began, and they really couldn't bring this back to standards for serving hot lunches, so we always walked over to what was then Webster School, which is no longer there now. And when it was raining, they would bus us over there. Otherwise, we had time to walk 2 blocks outside in the fresh air and sunshine, and then find our way back.
The big thing when I was in school here was Vera Canaday and Everett Vandervoort were both single, and they started dating. And they got married, and that was a big deal then.
It's pretty exciting to walk all over here from the Christian school and get to watch a movie.
I've done several
theater productions through Union Street Players. Since then, I've also done several dance recitals.
We got involved with Union Street Players some time ago, and along about 2008, 2009, they started to talk about things they wanted to do with the community center, which mostly involved getting rid of it and selling it off.
In 5th grade, we had too many people in my class and not enough classrooms in Lincoln School, where I had been the whole time. So they put a class of us over here. The class was in the basement, the first floor where the offices are now. That was my classroom right next to the shop area.
Yeah, I remember when I was a cheerleader and we'd get practicing in the summer. I was so sore I could hardly manage the stairs.
I have so many good memories, so many fond memories of the laughter and the pranks and the camaraderie, the hollering in the sometimes I can still hear the hollering in the halls. It was a great place to go to middle school.
Where we're sitting right now was the library and study hall. One thing I remember is where the clock is approximately on the wall over there. There was an intercom system, and you could have the daily announcements read over the intercom every day.
I taught 6th grade social studies. Big old buildings like that have very spacious classrooms. I felt like I had one of the best classrooms in the building because it was on the east side and I only got the sun in the morning, and believe me, that building was hot when the sun really came in.
One of my specific memories of this building, in fact, of this room, it would have been the second to last day of school in May in 1970. A bomb threat was phoned in and we evacuated the school. They didn't call classes off, but they moved everybody over to Webster School. It was, there were finals going on that day, tests, and we utilized part of the Baptist Church basement to take tests in, and also 1 or 2 rooms in Webster School. And while the police were busy searching the building for a non-existent bomb, we were out enjoying the nice spring day.
First off, I learned how to do makeup here in the green room. That was pretty fun. I also learned how to do theater hair. And I also remember when I was little in Minnie May in Anne of Green Gables, being this little girl who just peeked her head around the corner of the curtains and thinking like that was this huge castle. And then going up into the catwalk with Arvin Van Zandt as well. That was really cool. And then getting to sit in the sound booth and figure out all that.
These were huge windows here, and it was during this time that for some reason we were having quite a few sonic booms. And when the jets would fly over, the windows in this room would just rattle. It was kind of a scary experience. At that time, the 7th grade was on the main level and 8th grade was on the top level. And the auditorium was not used that much, but I remember every World Series, they would put a TV on the stage and have a transistor radio going, and we would be allowed to watch the World Series game.
I remember one particular time where it was the last day of school and we took our semester tests outside on Webster's grounds because we had a bomb threat that day. So that was really exciting for all of us. But probably my most memorable memories are here. I took aerobics here when I was a young lady, and my kids used to run off energy in the gym and play basketball and just have a great time. We were also my family were members of Union Street Players, and so theater has a very special part of my heart. My kids were able to take part in that, and just over the years we've just had so many kids that didn't really have a place. They weren't sports minded or musically talented or anything like that, but they could do theater. So they came here to find their niche.
We had our teacher would go outside quite a bit with us and read to us. And the one thing that anybody in my class will be able to remember is She wore a wiglet, not a full wig, but a wig on top of her head, a wiglet. And one day while she was reading outside, a bird came over and dirtied her wiglet. Nobody will forget that. I know they won't.
I played basketball. I was a guard. I could holler loud and I could wave my arms good. I wasn't very tall, but yeah, and we showered in the locker room down there, and we had lockers. It was not very nice.
Some great memories, obviously, are the colleagues that you have. We had really good students. I had taught at Albia the year before. This was my second year of teaching, and we just had so many great kids. And that atmosphere at the community center was so unique because I taught kind of down in the dungeon. The tiles on the ceiling were getting old enough that if a volleyball or a ball would hit them, they'd come crashing down and we'd have to tell the kids, get out of the way.
So yeah, in 1970, I was employed there, and I loved my job. I always believed that middle school teachers belong in middle school. I don't know, there's something about their personalities that fit with middle school kids, and I loved my job. I loved the hands-on work. I loved the small classes. Started out as just girls, and as time went along, even before we moved to the new middle school area, the boys started wanting in the classes, and there was a little resistance. I know one boy who sat all by himself in my class. He got permission to be in there, and it wasn't long, and there were more boys. And then it was really happening all over the country, which was wonderful.
And I would say it was a fond memory that we actually got outside to walk to the old Webster building where we had hot lunch. And we escorted the sixth graders. The teachers had their week of duty, and you went with them to eat at the old, Webster School, and then you had playground duty there, and then escorted them back.
Let me step back a little bit further in the history, and I'll say that I actually went to junior high. I went to 8th grade. I was in the first 8th grade class to be in that building. In 1962, they opened the new high school, and at that point, they moved the 7th and 8th grade from Webster School over to the existing community center now. So that's my first history with the building. Then in high school, I was involved in drama, and we did all of our productions there on the stage in the community center. Graduated from high school, gave up all those childish things, went along fine until many years later, my children started doing theater, and I got the bug again. And I've been with Union Street Players for something over 30 years.
I taught the 7th grade social studies during that time. And I also did a amount of doing a little coaching in the middle school. My room was in the it would have been the southeast corner, and like Carol mentioned for her room, it was a great room. Like she said, there was a lot of room, good windows. One thing that we really remember about that room, it was just across the street from the fire department, and fire sirens would go off every now and then, and students would always get very aware because it was very loud right into that area. So that kind of woke students up on many occasions, yes. Yes.
The scary thing about the school was that you didn't dare go in and do any work at night, which I like to do because there were always more than a few bats flying around.
It was kind of interesting. We had a caged area where we had our equipment, and there were pipes in there, and we had to be careful that we didn't hit the pipes because some of the covers, some of the protection for the pipes would come off, and later on we found out that was asbestos.
So I had been teaching in the elementary and then moved to the middle school to the old building.
The community center to me has been much more than a building. It's been a lighthouse in our community. It's helped thousands of people find their way through life educationally, athletically, through counseling, through sports, through arts, through entertainment. I remember it was in an upstairs classroom in Sarah Caldwell's social studies class that she encouraged me to someday run for office because of my curiosity about city government. And I had made a promise to Sarah in that upper classroom one day that I would one day run to be in Pella city government. And it was that building that inspired me and that teacher that encouraged me. The building is an absolute treasure in our community. There are so many memories from so many people and so many opportunities to continue to serve. I would encourage everyone to rally around this building. It's a historic treasure, an architectural gem, and something that our community absolutely needs to save and pass on to the generations below us so they can have the same fond memories that we have of the Pella Community Center.
To even have grandchildren, great-grandchildren hear about the experiences of their grandparents and great-grandparents when they went to school there, I think is just invaluable. I think that's an important part of Pella's history.
And they hired an individual called, and what was his name?
Wrecker Hall.
Wrecker Hall. To come and tear it down. And he went and looked at the building, and then he went to Stu Kuiper and said, you can't tear this building down. It's just too solid. It's too good of a building. And that's when the action was started to form it into a community center, which happened in 1979. It was converted to a community center. And it's been serving that way. So we like to say it is a treasure from our past and a resource for our future. It has served the community as a high school, then a middle school, community center, and we want to continue to serve the community for the next 20 to 30 years. But we need to renovate it and to restore the old girl back to her beauty.
Hello, I'm Patty Van Zandt, the chairman of the Friends of the Pella Community Center. I want to thank Pella Fiber for producing this documentary and thank all the volunteers who shared their stories and memories about this wonderful building.
Hello, I'm Marvin Van Zandt, treasurer of the Friends of the Pella Community Center and husband to Patty. As Patty mentioned, our motto is that this building is a treasure from our past and a resource for our future. We've shared the memories. We'd like to share a little about the vision that we have for the future. The Friends of the Pella Community Center is working closely with the city to raise funds for an $8.3 million project designed to preserve and renovate this facility. That includes replacing the HVAC system, windows, lighting, basically all the internal systems, and where necessary, the electrical and plumbing systems. It also will reopen the Heritage Gym, consolidate and upgrade the restrooms on the second floor, and importantly, move the administrative office from the northeast corner to the southeast corner, where the handicap entrance is today, so that it can become a new main entrance for the facility. The Friends organization is then looking to raise the additional funds necessary to make that a full-scale entrance with a lobby, a full-size certified elevator, and a stairwell that will reach all 4 floors. This will provide ADA-compliant access to all floors of the building, including the Heritage Gym. In addition, the lobby will have publicly accessible restrooms, and there'll be restrooms on the other floors in that same wing. This is going to provide a clearly marked and visible entrance to the facility and provide more programming space for use within the facility. We encourage you to help us support this project. We have more information on our website at at the friendsofthepellacommunitycenter.org. You're free to contact my wife and myself if you'd like more information. Again, thank you for watching this documentary, and thank you for your support.
Let it be such work as our descendants will thank us for, and let us think, as we lay stone on stone, that a time is to come when those stones will be held sacred because our hands have touched them, and that men will say, as they look upon the labor and wrought substance of them, "See, this our fathers did for us." John Ruskin, 1849.